All right, well, welcome, ladies. I am so excited to get into this with you. Thank you, Liz, for inviting me. I'm so honored. What I want to accomplish in our time together right now is I'm going to come at you talking about the heart and soul side of it, as well as the analytic strategy side of it, because having a career as an entertainer, as a creative, is a combination of the two. And it's tricky to know how to walk that line sometimes, how to nurture your soul and your art while at the same time being a fierce business person and running your own career. So I'm going to speak to that as somebody who grew up in the business and has been a professional songwriter and touring musician for 20 years now. And then I'm also going to come at you as a life coach. I started my life coaching business 4 years ago, the Lucy Walsh Studio. I do coach singers, pianists, all types of musicians, but I also have a lot of life coaching programs because my voice work has naturally gone into what I call voice therapy, helping people take back their voice that trauma stole, because we all lose our voice to traumas in our lives, right? And I specialize in helping you take your voice back and use it to claim the rich life that you want at your highest potential. And that is very tied in with our voice. So, because I'm a trained musician, I treat my clients from a physiological standpoint, but I also work with non-singers because that reclaiming of the voice is an emotional thing. So I'm going to be coming at you from two ways here. I'm going to discuss the business. I'm going to say some kind of scary things about the state of the business right now, but I want you to feel empowered from our time together and not freaked out by things I might say, okay? Does that sound good?
Sure. Fantastic. That sounds fantastic.
All right, so I'll just tell you quickly about myself. I was born into a family of musicians. My grandmothers are both pianists. One is classical, one was strictly ear training, gospel music. So I really got both worlds. My dad is Joe Walsh of the Eagles. I'm really grateful that I had the example of my father because the word starving artist never existed for me. I had the example of a parent who had become successful doing what he loved.
Wow.
And most of us don't get that. Most of us have parents who are afraid of the arts, afraid of being creative. They want you to go get a safe job. My parents never pushed that on me, right? And because of that, I really thought from a young age, well, if he can do it, so can I. And so I did. And the other thing that growing up around the Eagles taught me was I saw the work ethic that it took to enjoy a long career. There was never any mystery about what it took because I've seen my dad go out on that stage and make it look so effortless. But I know that he put in hundreds of hours on a 6 note guitar riff to make that happen. So those two things really set me off on a path of feeling pretty fearless to go after what I wanted. I went after a music career right out of high school. My dad said he wasn't going to pick up the phone for me. He wasn't going to do it for me. I had to go out and do it myself. And I did. You might think it's who you know, but it's only who you know once you get good. If you're not good and you can't seal the deal, nobody cares. I didn't know what the career was going to be. I didn't know what it looked like, but I made a decision. And here's where it comes to a definitive decision. I decided that I was going to do this for the rest of my life, no matter what. And when you decide that, nothing can scare you, right? So I went out, I paid my dues. I didn't know where to begin. I figured, let me just go to shows and meet people. Let me put myself in the world I want to be in and then expand, right? That's what you got to do with any desire in your heart. Now, I know all of you ladies sitting there have many, many desires in your heart. Some you might not even be focused on right now. Some you still might be fighting with, giving it all the reasons why it's not possible. But when you choose to embrace these desires, we have many, many throughout our lives, right? Once you make that decision, the universe is going to flow to you all that support to make it happen. And you got to put yourself in that world and then branch out, which I know you all know how to do because that's what you're describing. All these different people you've worked with along the way, you went out and did that, right? You went out and connected with those people and made those relationships and took a risk and put yourself out there. Sometimes it works. Sometimes we get close. The heartbreaks along the way far outweigh the successes. But you know what? The successes make it all worth it.
Yeah.
Right? And when you are following that desire because it's what is compelling you, there's no losing. It's a win-win, right? Yes, there's heartbreak. But what I always have to remind myself is that it's never the music that breaks my heart. It's people. It's expectations. It's putting pressure on ourselves to get somewhere by a certain age or to achieve this or else we're going to give it. No, no, no. No, release all that pressure off of yourself and just let it flow through you. You have no idea where it's supposed to lead. So when I made that decision, it led to me going to New York. I sang for 9 labels in 3 days. I ended up being signed by Jay-Z and L.A. Reid. They spent $3 million on my album. They had me write with every hot writer in town. I had gotten signed because I wrote my own song. They wanted to steer me into a direction that wasn't me. And I was so overwhelmed as a young girl in the entertainment industry that I let them.
Yeah.
Got dropped. I got my heart broken. I went to Nashville. I became a songwriter. I worked with Rascal Flatts writers. I worked with Tim McGraw's writers. I worked with everybody. Everybody. I've worked with everybody, right? I've written for other people. My songs have been recorded in other languages. I then got curious about composing for film and television. I started composing for film. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. Uh, Wherever that decision took me is where I went. And I want you to be open to the journey. I want you to say yes to things and you surprise yourself and you have no idea what's going to come from it, but that's not important. I've now sung the national anthem for 2 presidents. I've sung on live television for 5 million people. I've sung in front of 70,000 people. I've sung for a club where there were only 2 people showed up. But none of it matters. Yeah.
We have so much in common. Yeah, see?
It's called paying your dues and allowing the decision to guide you at all times, right? So the music can never hurt us. The music will never break your heart. Your music is always there for you, always. And it's never too late. I want you to get that concept out of your mind. Doesn't matter if you take the next 10 years off and then you decide to return to it again. Your timing in your life is always perfect.
Thank you, Lucy.
So as a songwriter, there are 2 realms that we deal in. One is that artistry, that soul, that nourishing ourselves. Like Liz is saying, it's very nourishing for her to create that community. That community is important for her. That helps her feel nourished. We need that. As artists, we need our people. We need our community because this life as an artist, this industry can feel very lonely, especially today with being on our phones. We are losing our humanity and we must protect it. So creating those communities, nurturing the artist in you is so crucial. And the other side of that is how do we function professionally in this industry? How do we run our business? Some people see it as a scary thing that they have to do both, but I don't. It's very exciting to me. I love being the CEO of my own business. And if you love it, it's going to become your life's work. If not, you're going to get scared and run away, and it's going to be a pain in the ass, and you're going to get confused and go into doubt. But that's not what we're going to do today.
I enjoy that work.
Good.
All the business side of it, all of the like the printing and
Yeah,
networking, and I love that side of it too.
good.
So
Exactly.
use your creative mind.
Use your creative mind. Exactly. We as songwriters must embrace getting creative about how we run our business. How do we do this professionally in today's age? The music industry, since we all started, has completely changed. We know this. We know that it's not about walking in and getting a record deal anymore. Does anybody know what today's currency is?
AI intelligence. Yeah, a lot of AI. Walking in with music.
There is AI and there is social media. What is a musician's currency today? As opposed to 20 years ago when I got my first record deal, my currency was my dad's name, going in there with songs that I had written, showing them that I could do it myself, showing them that I could sing live, showing them that I was multi-talented, I could play multiple instruments, showing them that I was money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were my tools because this industry is not about artistry. This industry, as with any industry, the definition of industry is money.
Yeah, about money.
That doesn't need to freak us out. I want you to get excited about that. How can you monetize yourself? How can you make people look at you and see money? I'm asking you, what is our currency today?
Right. How many people are the show from here to
Popularity
time?
contest. I feel like it's a popularity contest.
Well, if you're on Spotify and you're getting 1 million streams, they're gonna pay attention.
Exactly. If you're following. Can I hear from each of you what your following is on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram?
Tracy's good.
Well, no,
I saw right that she's good at that.
well, I've been increasing my monthly listeners on Spotify. They're up to around 10,000 now. I've been up to 20, but it's 10 now. Followers on Spotify are about 1,100 something right now. I don't spend any time on TikTok because I hate it. YouTube, probably 40, and Instagram, maybe 100, I don't know.
Okay,
Like-
hold that. Michelle,
Probably 4,000, 5,000 people on Facebook.
on TikTok?
I don't follow TikTok, I just let my posts go over there. I have Spotify also.
Okay.
Where.
And Liz, what are your numbers?
I think I have like,
Right.
I know it's 49 because I've been hoping for one more.
Yeah, listeners are followers.
I'm not really strong with that, so yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I've done a ton of advertising and put some money into it to build that, but I haven't focused on Instagram.
All right. Now, I know that that question is personal and it feels like, you know, me asking you to lift up your dress and show me your underwear. But here we go. This is a brutal new age where if you are not posting every single day to up your numbers, you don't have a shot in the game. And that's just where it is. That's very, very hard for songwriters to wrap their head around because we don't want to be dancing on TikTok. But here's where I want you to feel empowered by it. And I have to remember this for myself as well. You can make this happen in your own way on your terms. So you don't have to dance on TikTok. Get creative. Michelle, you said you love getting creative for your business. Find a way to daily post YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Put a 15-second song out. Engage with people. Look at the trends. Look at the hashtags. What is getting traction? We have to embrace this. Otherwise, we will get left behind. People with star names are getting passed up because there is not enough of a following. Following equals money in today's market. Just like every other era before us, silent movies into talkies, the silent movie actors got left behind, unless they embraced the new market, which many did. The key is to be excited about it and not fight it.
Just a little side note, you're too young to know probably Sherry and Lamb Chop.
The puppet lamb chop?
Yeah.
Yeah, my stepdad managed Sherry Lewis, so I do know lamb chop.
The reason I'm saying that is because I just saw the movie documentary of her life. It's incredible what she does in the beginning, of course, when puppets and magic shows and all that were really popular, she's doing great. You know, she's got her own show and all that. There's a period of time when, like you're saying, when things shift and she has to reinvent herself. In the documentary, she reinvents herself like constantly. Eventually, things came around and she got famous again or popular again. The things that she did were incredible. She was going with the flow.
Yeah.
She was going with whatever was popular.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was
And
doing-
she was a businesswoman.
Oh, she definitely was.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's a great point, a great example. It's not about soulless numbers. So here's where the humanity can really help you with what I'm saying. Another harsh reality, and this is very scary for us all, is that AI can write a song in a second. I was playing with it this morning. There is the website suno.com, SUNO. And I typed in, write me a song about how songwriters are afraid to lose their voice to AI. And it wrote me a beautiful song. I asked for singer-songwriter style, and it generated it in 15 seconds, which puts us out of a job.
Right.
So what does this mean for us? How do we fight this? Okay, because it's here and it's not going to go anywhere. This is the future. We fight this by engaging with people on social media. That human connection where they like you and they want to watch you and they want to engage with you and they like what you're creating, that is how you fight AI. Because what we are losing through AI is the human connection.
I was gonna say, you gotta put a face to the song, like your face.
That's exactly right.
Your face matters when you're showing emotion.
Your face matters, exactly right. Even though AI can generate a person and they look real, people deep down want to connect with other people. I'm very heartbroken by the state of AI because nobody asked for this, and most people don't want it. We want to go to a live show and be together and feel each other. As songwriters especially, we can fight back by embracing social media and connecting with people one-on-one. The very exciting thing about where our world is at today is you no longer need a middleman. You don't need a record label. You don't need a manager. You don't need a sync person. I like what you're all saying. I had it in my notes and I don't have to touch on it with you about making sure that your music is out there because you're all already doing that. Good. Everything you write, you have the power to give it to the people directly. When you make your music available through DistroKid, which is what I use, and it goes out to all those channels, then it becomes available for people to use on social media for their reels. That can get you traction. It is scary to think about because we are screwed by AI, but all is not lost, okay? I want you to get excited about this and don't get hopeless because you hold all the power. So you get what I'm saying? TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Pay attention to what's working for other artists and copy them. 15-second songs, that works. When I was on tour with Maroon 5, I was opening for them. Every night after the show, we would go back to their bus and write a song. The guys in Maroon 5 had made that their project. They were going to write a song a day for 1 year. The music never stops when you love it, correct? Right? It never stops. Now, make that a project. Why not do that on your TikTok? You don't have to do the stupid dances. Make it work for you. Get on that TikTok and use it for what you want to do. Release a 15-second song idea every day. Tell your fans, hey, come with me on this project. I'm going to write a song a day or a sync idea a day in commercial form, you know, a 30-second song, a 15-second song. Pay attention to how long other artists are using and copy them. This is endless what you can come up with. Make it fun for yourselves. You hate TikTok? Make it work for you. Just because 13-year-olds are using it to shake their ass doesn't mean that that's how you have to use it.
That's true. That's a good point, Lucy.
You control your business. You don't let the business control you. Does anybody want to say anything? Do you have any feedback?
No, this is very inspiring, Lucy. I feel like I'm on fire.
Good. I want you to be on fire. And it's your mentor's job, your coach's job to be your cheer squad and to fan those flames. So whoever it is in your life, whether it's me or someone else, make sure that you've got that cheer squad that is fanning your flames at all time, okay? Because it is not a sure thing. It doesn't make sense to people who have 9-to-5 jobs. They think you're crazy, right? You need to stay mentally strong. Yeah.
Yes, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I've been here before. I didn't focus so much on YouTube. I did a little bit, and I started on TikTok. But then I felt like this doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. So I shifted to Spotify, and that was where I was spending. That's where I spend most of my money, through ads, through all kinds of things that I've learned to do, through watching different people. I've gotten to a certain point on that, and it's not getting bigger. So I'm wondering if maybe it's not getting bigger because I'm not doing these things that you're saying. Like, there's only so much you can put, you can do ads. And
I understand. And you feel like you're hitting a glass ceiling with that.
yeah, kind of. Like, I can, if I don't do any ads, I can keep it around 7,000 monthly listeners. I expected more.
So the 7,000 followers bring you money though, or is it just followers and they're free?
You're hoping the followers are gonna listen, right?
Right, but does it bring the money?
It's a changing world, and the ways that we get paid are changing as well. It takes hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views on YouTube to make like $600. So
Right.
we are not looking to become millionaires from this engagement. What I am looking for, what is important, is your presence.
Right.
Because when you go out into the world and you go to a songwriters get together or a place where sync supervisors are going to be, and you meet these people, the first thing they're going to do is go online and look at your presence. It's about an arsenal. It's not even about having a website. I have a website because I offer coaching programs, and that's where you sign into your member portal and all of that. But that's not how I get my business. My business comes through Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So don't put all your eggs in one basket and think that it's enough. Whatever. You keep moving. You do the best you can, okay? You have fun with it. And you realize that you're not going to make $1 million from your Spotify. That's why we have to make sure that we're living a full life, doing things that we love, so that there's no desperation attached to being a songwriter. It cannot be a life or death situation where you can't pay your bills unless you sell a song. So that's where I work with clients to really go after all the desires in their heart, not just one, because your life has to be something that you wake up to every day, and you can't wait to go after these things that make you happy, right? The money will come when you monetize your talents and skills and create channels for money to flow into your life from many, many directions. Money goes where there's expansion happening. And we expand by figuring out what we're good at and then creating funnels for it to flow into our life by monetizing those skills and talents. I don't mean skills and talents like you can play the piano. I mean, you might be a great listener. You might be really good with animals. I don't know. You might have 1,000 talents. We monetize them, create that flow of money in, right? And that expansion happens. But we cannot put all our eggs in one basket and feel desperation. That's not a happy life. Desperation only stifles our creativity. And we want to feel creative every day and excited to do what we do. On that note, I want to share something with you that Matthew Wilder shared with me recently. You might know who Matthew Wilder is. He's a prolific songwriter. He was an artist in the 80s. He sang Break My Stride, and he produced and co-wrote a few of my early songs when I was starting out. I had lunch with him recently, and I was picking his brain about this very thing. How does an artist stay relevant today? He said, you have to do it all, and you have to say yes to things that you shock yourself because you never thought that you could do that. He said, I wanted to be a singer and a frontman. I was lucky enough to have a hit. Then he was asked, would you compose and produce the Mulan soundtrack? Which he did. Then he was asked to produce No Doubt. He never planned on any of that, but he said yes to things that came along and he allowed himself to surprise himself. Whoa, I didn't know I could produce a ska band. Whoa, I didn't know I could write a Disney movie soundtrack. Now he just opened his first musical on the West End in London.
Yeah.
And that was a project that took 20 years, right? So his advice to me was do it all. Learn multiple instruments. Don't worry about your age. You're too old to make it as a frontman. Go be a producer. Go write songs. Go compose. Go, I don't know, be an engineer in a studio. Say yes to the world that you want to be in, and you'll always be following your desire. It's not your business to know where it's going to go. You're in a handshake deal with the universe. Your side of that handshake deal is to be clear about your desires and to make that decision to go after it. The universe's side of it is to bring you unexpected possibilities. The universe is not on a budget. It is always waiting to flow in and support you, right? You're either going to say yes to the opportunities or you're going to shrink back and give yourself all the reasons why you couldn't do that. So I want you to think out of the box. You are not just songwriters. You are fill in the blank, right?
I have to find,
High five to you too, Lucy.
find ways to like, stay creative in like all different ways. Not just in music, but like in, like during 2020, we all were like, you know, all the local, you know, we were all shut down. And I was a massage therapist at the same time, so, you know, both of my jobs got like knocked out. So I was staying at home and I was writing songs pretty much daily, and posting them on YouTube. But also, you know, like I drew portraits of people, like I did art. So I decided I was gonna do art, and then people would ask me to do art for them during 2020 because they couldn't go see their family. I made money doing that.
Look at
And
that.
I never dreamed that I would do it for money, and I love it, but I put my pencils down for 20 years. You know, I did. I put it down for 20 years, and then COVID happened. Music went away, other than just uploading my living room songs and stuff every day to YouTube, and then posting my drawings to Facebook. It was just like, that's how I made money during 2020. When people would like ask me to draw portraits, and then I would send them to their family members, and I never dreamed I would be able to do that.
It surprised you, didn't it?
It did surprise me, because I was just like, I never thought I could do that for a living, because it was just a side hustle. It wasn't even like, it was just a hobby.
It's exactly what I'm talking about. You are so powerful, all of you in that room and everybody watching this. You are so powerful. You have no idea what you're capable of, okay? So I'm going to give you the first step that I take all my life coaching clients through. I want you to list out all your talents and skills.
Things we're good at.
Talents and skills.
I want desires to be a part of this list. What have you always desired, but you've never given it to yourself? You've always talked yourself out of it. We all have that little voice that's been with us through the years. And if we don't listen to it, it starts to speak louder and louder until it's yelling at us, right? I want you to finally listen to it and write it down. I want you to get very clear on your talents and skills and desires. Michelle, you already listed 3 skills that you have. Massage, working with your hands, your art, and your music, right? All right. Right there, you have 3 skills. What are your emotional skills? What are your intellectual skills, right? What are you talented at? What do you desire? These are your clues. Your soul is trying to guide you to your highest potential. And it comes through in the form of desires. Those are your clues. So when you start to follow the clues, you can then monetize those pathways for money to flow to you. And before you know it, money's going to be coming at you from unseen sources. You're not going to believe how your life is transforming, simply because you stopped taking for granted the gold that's already in you. This involves ego death. We have such a limited vision of who we really are and who we can be and who we can't be. I had to go through a massive ego death to become a life coach. I was too busy wanting to be seen as a rock star's daughter, as a pop star, as an actress. To me, coaching meant that I had failed. So I was limiting myself because my life's work was speaking to me. It was trying to come through, but I kept blocking it because I didn't see myself that way. When I finally let go, a miracle happened. And funny enough, it brought me right back to my music, to my acting. It was like going into the thing I was most ashamed of, which was being a coach, brought people to me that are asking me to star in movies and asking me to, you know what I mean? I have among my clients some of the top celebrities in the entire world. And I don't talk about it and I don't promote it, but it's pretty funny to me that once I gave up my ego and I just went, you know what? I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm going to listen to myself. I'm going to listen to the desires that are trying to ask me to go in that direction. And I'm just going to see what happens. And I'm not going to worry about appearing the way my ego thinks that I should be. So my social media had to change. I have stepped into my power as a life coach. You have no idea what's going to happen when you release that ego and really step into all the desires, skills, and talents that you possess in this very moment. I'm so excited to see where this takes you. So we might not have talked technically about songwriting today, but can you see how all of this encompasses your work as songwriters?
Lucy, I feel like this is a lot of the retreats and stuff that we go to. They talk about like song structure, this and everything else. But this is so wonderful. I think you really have a really great way with people and songwriters. So I really appreciate you taking the time and sitting with us and explaining things and I don't know, I feel energized.
Yeah.
You guys.
I remember talking to a few Nashville songwriters about
Yeah.
shopping songs and plugging songs and stuff like that. And I would send them in. I mean, and they physically will take the life out of the song. You know, even though I feel like my songs are structured well.
Yeah.
Like if I say I run and then I ran at the end of the song is still considered the same word.
Right.
You know, you don't use the same word in the same song anywhere.
You know what's interesting? I just went to a party, speaking of schmoozing with other songwriters. I just went to a party the other day at Peter Wolf's house. He's one of the biggest players in the business. And he said to me, I've always believed if you can't write a song in 5 minutes, it's not a good song. It could be 10 years later that it comes through. I've had unfinished songs that have sat with me for a decade. And then in a split second, I go, oh, there it is. I got it.
My friend Lauren McLean, she's a Nashville girl, and she told me that she's like sometimes your songs come complete in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and sometimes they come as gifts to you throughout your years.
That's
You
right.
know,
They really do.
there's
And
like
we can't control that, right? And you open yourself up to the muse by getting this healthy and beautiful. I want your head to be a beautiful place for you to live. And I want that to go out into creating a life that you are excited to wake up to every day. That opens you up to the muse. I don't want you to feel hopeless about your craft. Fuck AI. Continue writing. Stay human. Nurture yourselves as human. Don't rob yourself and go, oh, what's the point? AI could do this. No, no, no.
hey, I can't perform it in front of you.
That's right. Keep performing, keep going out and meeting people, keep driving them to your pages where you've got a great presence, doing what you love, keep getting creative every day with your social media platforms. Don't lose hope, you know. It's an amazing life you've chosen. It's an amazing honor and a privilege to be musicians, to be songwriters, to be creative people. It's a privilege. Not everybody gets the privilege of that. So we need to be grateful for it whenever we approach it and never take it for granted. And when you study with me, you are sixth in line in the teaching lineage of Beethoven. And that is something that I take great pride in. Music is an art that only stays alive if we pass it on. So take pride in what you do, make it joyful for yourselves. I am so grateful that you took the time to talk with me. I hope I gave you something to chew on.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucy.
Anything, any final words?
Well, you were talking about, songwriting and opening yourself up to the muse. But, you know, it seems like every single time I stepped into the car, a song came along and I'm like, now? You know what I mean? It happened every single time. I was like, do you really pick an inconvenient time for me to write a song? So I pull over and I'm looking for a pen. I'm like, lipstick. So that's the older time, you know. Now you can just like voice record it in your phone.
Right.
You know, you use the tools that you have available.
That's all you can do.
Lucy, I remember when I met you, and this is before I knew she came from like rock royalty. I didn't know any of that when I met you, right? I just knew you as like an improv partner, and you
Yeah.
always, it's like a magic about you. So I really appreciate you bringing that here.
Oh, Liz, thank you. I would say the same about you. You're very, very gifted at bringing people together. I love that you're doing this. You are just doing such beautiful things for people. I'm so happy to be connected with you after all this time. I hope we do this again in the future and find ways to continue to collaborate. Tracy, what do you want to say?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, I said, I used to be a psychologist and I feel like a lot of this for me was therapy. You know, like Liz was saying, when we go to retreats and we've done the songwriting, it's all about structure, it's all about form, it's all about, you know, but this feels more like therapeutic. It's like going back in yourself and like you're saying, what are your desires? What are your, you know, what are things you could, all that stuff is very, to me, very psychological, but that's what pushes us forward.
That's right.
So we're grounded there and we're not doing some work there, that's place to hit in order to move forward. So
That's exactly right.
just went through some therapy.
Yeah.
Good, good. Yeah, it's funny. Some of my clients have me saved in their phone as Lucy Therapist. But that's what I do. You know, that's how I approach you. I'm working with you, the person, first, and everything else is just the branches of that tree.
You're very motivating.
Yeah.
We have, you know, there's that piece of it and then the therapy piece of it, like getting to the feelings of people. And so I just feel that.
This was so much fun.
It was fun.
Lots of love. You're incredible, powerful. You're just fabulous. I'm so happy we met. I will see you again soon.
Okay,
All right.
Lucy.
Enjoy the rest of your time together.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.